Welcome back, Nick Lenz. Comic Corner Classics, non-classics. This is episode number 1301 and double number 1195. Now, originally this is basically a second take of this because I had originally gotten to about 3.5 minutes into the review and had to stop because dinner was ready. Alright, this one I'm discussing the two trades that collect the Jane Foster Valkyrie series. First one I'm starting out with is Jane Foster Valkyrie, Volume 1, The Sacred and the Profane. Yep, this is written by Jason Aaron and Al Ewing, though Al Ewing actually leaves after a few issues. Don't know why, he just does. And by the way, this is actually Jane Foster's outfit. The whole series. Also, we also have these skull bubbles. These skull bubbles, top of course, the series. Excuse me, they're a recurring plot thread that pops through the entire series. Alright, now, this first one collects one of the stories from War of the Realms Omega, basically the backdoor pilot to the series, and the first 5 issues of the series. Now, I will explain what happened with the series when I discuss Volume 2. Now, I should point out that each one of these stories does set up something. Now, the one with Jane Foster, that changed to this series, Loki sets up his brief ongoing series. That got canceled to 5 issues. Do not know why. They just did. Malekith has no reason to be here at all. That mostly is there's also a Daredevil story in here, believe it or not. Now, if you're curious though, what is up with the Punisher in this helmet? Well, that's actually explained in the book. That's mostly set up for his miniseries that comes right after this one shot, which was Punisher Kill Crew, an excellent miniseries written by the guy who wrote also War of the Realms Punisher, Gary Duggan. It was interesting to have him hunting down monsters. Like him in the miniseries, he actually was hunting down frost giants, believe it or not. Yes, the Punisher killing frost giants. Now, this book basically starts off with Jane Foster, who has been cured, who's basically in remission from her cancer. She's got full head of hair now. First time in a few years she's actually had this. And she's autopsying the late Brunhilde, the leader of the Valkyries. Now, I did mention this before, now I'm going to bring it up here. In the main War of the Realms series, see, Brunhilde was killed in issue 2 by Malekith. How? He beheaded her and all the Valkyries. The way that Jason Aaron wrote the Raxon News, he referred to the Valkyrie, the female warriors who basically lead people to the afterlife, as female cosplayers. I am not kidding about that. That's how Jason Aaron wrote Raxon News, as complete utter buffoons. The only reason why I could think of the reason why that they said that is because Raxon's run by the Minotaur, a guy who hates Thor. Yep, so, and then we have an appearance by Lisa Makarin. If you're curious who this woman is, this woman dated America Chavez. Yes, Marvel's one of their very few openly lesbian characters. If you want another one besides, well, America Chavez, there is also Karma from New Mutants. She's been openly lesbian for years. And nobody tries to force down everybody's throats every single issue of her. Well, she's never had a series. America Chavez has. Where, like, every single issue of her ongoing series, and this is my problem with her series, every single issue has reminded, oh yeah, she's a lesbian and she's a daughter of 2 lesbians. Whatever. We don't need to remind it every single freaking issue. I will discuss the America Chavez title and how freaking bad this series is. And I tend to think, like, why the heck did Marvel allow this series to last for 11 issues? Though this series lasted for 10. I will discuss that later. Yeah, the thing with Lisa is, she's here because she's going to be a supporting character in the Jane Foster Valkyrie series. We see a flashback of time as Thor, also fighting. We also see Ultimate Thor, War Thor, aka Volstagg, and then we see like a bracelet, which apparently was a reminder of her time when she was, well, Thor. And then we have appearance by Thor himself, Thor Odin's son, who is now the Allfather. Yes, if you're curious about this look, like, wait, that's not his current look. Well, this was 2019. This book didn't last very long. This book lasted maybe about 6 months before Marvel decided, before Danny DeCoteau changed his look. Yep, so eye patch, eye restored. Chopped off by Malekith, arm fully restored when he became a Herald of Galactus. Yeah, that was an interesting move on the part of Danny Dakota, making Thor a Herald of Galactus, who was later to be a herald of a creature as Black Winter. Yeah, that was explained in the opening story of basically Danny Dakota's run for Thor. Yeah, why is Thor here? He just basically honoring Valkyrie's death. And then, of course, well, Jane Foster comes into Valkyrie. Right in front of her. Right? And basically you see Brunhilde says, okay, will you take up the task of Valkyrie? He's like, sure, why not? And, well, she takes the job of being Valkyrie. And I move on to issue number 1. Now, I love the fact that the first variant cover is actually done by Russell Durman. Yes, if you're curious about this guy was the main artist when Jane Foster was Thor. He's a great artist, and I'm glad the fact they brought him to do variant covers. I don't think he does the interiors. No, I think it's done by somebody else. Now, for this story arc, you have her face off against first a group of bank robbers known as, get this, Gold Rush, Silver Ghost, Green Light, Red Line, and it's blue something, I'm not sure. Yeah, and Jane Foster just whacks the guys really easily, except for Gold Rush. Yep, and she doesn't carry out a sword. Nope, she carries on some kind of like mace, whatever. And she proceeds to beat the crap out of these guys. I think she kills, somebody kills Gold Rush. Yeah, this person who kills him shows up in issue 2. Yep, so Jane Foster flies off, talks to her boss at the clinic. Well, and remembers her time as Thor. And we see apparently she's no longer a regular medical doctor. She now works in the morgue. Yes, the morgue. Because why not? Oh yeah, they mentioned basically they autopsy a guy with a big stab wound in his chest. And like, strange question. What was he wearing? He was wearing not such a strange question, but I got a strange answer. A golden armor. And would you believe so? He killed straight through. Oh yeah, he was wearing rollerblades. Yep. So Jane goes to visit Valhalla. Yep, where you see Brunhilde's there. Yep, she looks like this now. Yeah, this is her new look. And yes, she is definitely confirmed dead. No, Jason Aaron did not resurrect her. She's now in the Hall of Warriors. That's what this place is, the Hall of Warriors. And so she gets on Pegasus and she basically also commands her to take care of her sword. And then we see Heimdall show up. Yes, Heimdall is here. Why? Well, they're about to predict basically what happened to him. And then he gets killed. Yep, in issue 2. Heimdall, the Guardian of Bifrost, gets killed. By who? Bullseye! Yep, Bullseye killed him. I'm like, wow, that kind of makes sense for Bullseye to kill somebody. But Heimdall, a long-time Thor supporting character, is killed by Bullseye. And this is only issue 2 of this spin-off series. And they killed off Heimdall. So what do they do for the Guardian of Bifrost? Why, they replace him with his sister, Lady Sif, who is still the Guardian of Bifrost. I'm like, okay. Yeah, that was basically the reason for this. So, yeah. Come on, I don't know why I did that for. My episode didn't have to work properly. Come on. Oh my gosh, seriously. Yeah, a second here. Yeah, it was basically. Yep, so Jane takes him on. He died. Yeah, basically kill. Heimdall dies, and he gets taken off to the afterlife. Not the Valhalla, but a journey into mystery. Yeah, so basically she ends up fighting Bullseye for the next few issues. But he's not the only one. Nope. Basically, of course, she saves a guy from death. Yep, Bullseye is not the only bad guy she fights in the storyline. Oh no. And I love her phrase. On your feet. Be ready. Make ready to fight. For you have a journey to make. To a journey to no one's before. A journey into mystery. Love the nod to the series that first appearance of Thor. Then we have an epic journey in the afterlife, basically at various places. Yeah, Heimdall's dead. So, basically just big journey across. And, well, he's kind of in the way laid to rest. Yep. Then he goes back home. Sees Raxon. And then we see the Grim Reaper. Now you're probably thinking, wait, isn't the guy supposed to be dead? Didn't Tom King kill him off in the first issue of Vision? Yes. Yes, he did. Well, they kind of do explain this in the very next issue. We cut to Hotel Inferno. If you're curious about this place is owned by Mephisto. Though, if you're curious, though, who actually created this particular place? Peter David. Yeah, this thing first up in the issue of X Factor, believe it or not. Though prior to this, the last time Hotel Inferno showed up was back in Doctor Strange Damnation. Yeah, it's a demon hotel in Las Vegas. That's basically what this place is. So, Grim Reaper gets a chance to come kind of in the way, come back as a zombie. Yeah, they did mention about Doctor Strange Damnation, which I do appreciate them doing that. And then, of course, the roommate's like, okay, why do you have a horse in your apartment? You guys are KK pets. Like, oh yeah, you fan of hay? Yeah, carrots to kitchen. Okay, fine. Yep. So pretty much, and then we see Annabelle Riggs. Interesting. I like the fact Jason Aaron includes her in this issue. She appears in the following issue as well, which I will discuss a little minute, basically what happens to her after this. Yeah, the reason why she's here, because she was actually one half of Brunhilde for a while, and at one point she was in love with Brunhilde. Because she's a lesbian. Though the thing is, she's not dating Brunhilde. She never dated her. She was briefly kissed her in her first appearance. Yeah, she's a creation of Cullen Bunn. Though she's actually in a relationship with an Inhuman. Yes. Still is, as far as I can tell. At one point, Annabelle died. The Valkyrie decided to offer up half her life force to resurrect her. Which still allowed her to live somehow. And then we have appearance by Doctor Strange. Yep, Doctor Strange is here. Because of course we have to have an appearance by Doctor Strange. Because, well, it's magic. Don't have to explain. Then we see three random people. Let me look up see who these people are. Let's see if we can find them here. This is issue number I think it's 4, I think it is. Let's see, we have oh yeah, the Baron Mortal's minions. They're Cardus, Aurea, and Demonicus. Last time they appeared was back. What? Okay. So apparently their last appearance prior to this particular book was back in Doctor Strange Volume 2, number 56. Yeah, these characters are Roger Stern characters. I'm like, really? That was the last time they showed up? Okay, interesting. Yeah, these are a long time. Well, his minions first show up in Strange Tales 125. Yep. And they've made occasional appearances since then. Yeah, and these 2 issues are the most recent appearances of them. Though prior to this, last time the minions showed up was back in X Factor 206. Yep, X Factor 206 was the last time they showed up here. Let's see if I can find it here. Okay. Yeah, Hotel Inferno. I thought this was a place that Hell Up, basically. Nope. It was probably a different place, but very similar. Yep. So yeah, return to these 3 guys. Yeah, I'm not really sure why in the world Jason Aaron did. My only guess is because He wrote Doctor Strange, so I have a guest appearance by 3 characters. Now, in case you're a casual comic reader, you probably have no idea who the heck these 3 even are. Even heck, I kind of didn't know. Yeah, that was interesting though. Their last appearance prior to this was actually in Doctor Strange Volume 2 from the 80s. Like, here's one for you. Cuttis was in Doctor Strange Volume 2, issue 56 from December 1982. That was the last time these guys showed up here. Yeah, which I'm like, really? It took you that freaking long to make an appearance here? But apparently, yep. And they're here thanks to the Grim Reaper. Who, yeah, Doctor Strange is here. Grim Reaper is basically having some fun here. And then we have this little bubble thing. Yeah, they don't explain what the heck this is until the very next issue. Yeah, then we have a Black Pegasus here. And of course, well, the roommate of Jane Foster. No, Jane Foster is not a lesbian. As far as I can tell, she just has a roommate. So she explains to Annabelle that Jane Foster is a hero, just like her girlfriend is. Well, Annabelle Riggs' girlfriend. And so, then we have basically the first time that, well, she first met her. Was right after she broke up with America Chavez. Probably in the Miss America title. The title that sucks, by the way. Though I have no idea why America... The only reason America Chavez is getting her miniseries this year is because she could appear in Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. So, yeah, the Grim Reaper basically taking the sword, well, taking the shield with Doctor Strange in it, and then he goes to Valhalla where he runs into Brunhilde, Scourge the Executioner, which that's quite interesting to see him in there. So I think he's supposed to be alive. And of course he's hauled off because he's dead. He did warrior. So basically, Doctor Strange is free from the shield he was trapped in, and of course giving a number to call, and then the thing ends with her flying off, and that's where that thing ends. Great way to start off the series, and I give this trade roughly a 9.5 out of 10. Fun little thing about Annabelle Riggs. She never appeared after this. As far as I can tell, that was the most recent appearance to date. Because I think Annabelle Riggs has generally appeared initially in the Fearless Defender series. And she also appeared in Asgardians of the Galaxy. And I think that's it. Let's see. Oh, she did appear for one issue of Captain America Sam Wilson, but that was it. Yeah, these 2 issues were her first appearance since the end of Asgardians of the Galaxy. And I think her appearance here was just like a brief guest star. Oh, just a flashback. That's simply what it is, but you can't really count that. So after like Fearless Defenders, it's like Asgardians of the Galaxy, and then she appears up here, and that's it for her. But by the way, the Jane Foster, the final issue of this arc was released November of a little over a year ago. So, does not appear since then. Okay, so the reason why that Executioner was dead because he died in the final issue of Asgardians of the Galaxy. Not really sure why, but that's basically how it is. Now moving on to Volume 2. The end of all things. And the end of the damn series. Yep. This book contains issues 6 through 10. Now, Al Ewing leaves after issue 7. The last few issues are... Now, Jason Aaron does write the series. He writes all 10 issues. Though, Al Ewing leaves issue 7, taken over by Tom Grink, who does issues 8 through 10. Yeah. Now dealing with the end of the series. So first, basically, you have Back in the Morgue. Again, okay, gets brief resurrected, fights Jane Foster, and she transfers right in front of her basically her lab partner, and then she pays visit to Doctor Strange, like, no, learning magic. This Havoc, he is massive magic. He also mentions that in, I think it was, they mentioned, let's see, 19, I think it was toward the end of, let's see, 2018, it's probably toward the end of Jason Aaron's run for Doctor Strange. That's probably when he got his hands restored after they've been shattered since the 60s. Yep, his hands are fine. So he become a doctor again. So, and then we see briefly at the clinic, we see White Tiger here. This is presumably the second White Tiger. So we see the medical team, which is made up of Night Nurse, Kardak, interesting, Dr. Feruza, who's a mutant, and Dr. Whitman Kep. Him I'm not familiar with, or Minkin, yes. As for Excalibur, I'm kind of familiar with her, mainly due to her popping up in Mighty Defenders. Kardak is a recurring Spider-Man villain who did become briefly a supporting character in the Superior Spider-Man series. Yep. So basically, discuss about this whole death thing. And it's interesting how Doctor Strange is back in the classics. If you could look, this by fact, in the previous arc, he's wearing the current outfit. He's wearing the all black costume. Oh yeah, and also apparently he's where he's no longer dyeing his hair. At one point, he was dyeing his hair, but he no longer is. So we have this group basically battling monsters, buying some skeleton. This was quite interesting. Yep, just basically have to do this for a couple issues. And that's last of Al Ewing for the series before taken up by a different writer. Yep. I don't remember who this woman is. Basically, it's I think it's Death. Yeah, I think it's Death who's basically on there. Let me take a look and see who this woman is. I think it's supposed to be Death, possibly. Let's see here. Let's see. No, it's not this guy. Let's see if I can find. I can't find who this person is. Oh, it's Death. Oddly enough, why in the world Death is in a coma, I have no idea. It's kind of weird. Yeah, it's not actually explained of why the heck she's in a coma, but she is. But yeah, Death is in a coma, and we see like her in a purple cloak. And then by issue, then we just basically disband the group. And then for the last few issues, then we have Jane Foster confronting the current version of Thor, which despite the fact this is actually the current look he's sporting in the Danny Colas run. Yeah, I don't think she actually counted. You see this person like trying to be resurrected. I don't know who this person is. It's like this mysterious person. And then Jane talks to her friend. And something comes up, and then basically the whole death things. Yeah, I think it's basically so the hell. We see Captain America, we see Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and then we see Thor. Now, this is kind of odd. On the cover, he's wearing the current look. Here, he's wearing the wrong look. Yeah, I don't know if this was an editor mixed up here, or I got the wires crossed, because on the cover, it's basically a Danny Colas Thor. Here, it's the Thor that appeared at the end of Jason Aaron's run. Why in the world they basically have this look and not the correct look, I have no idea. But I do have a theory it might have been due to an editor mix-up. So, they basically need to, well, deal with this creature. Of course, Thor goes with her, because obviously. So, then we see Odin. This is basically long ago when Thor was a child. We see this mysterious creature is about to be resurrected. And him being possessed by this creature. And this lasts for the last few issues of the series. See, well, oh yeah, once again the cover we see the Danny Colas look for Thor, and yet we still have him in the incorrect look for some reason. And then we see Tyre. I think Tyre's in the hall. Well, actually, he's actually alive, and Jotunheim is home of the Frost Giants. Yep. So the fights really, of course, the Avengers are fighting whatever these creatures on Earth, and then of course, well, they do in fact defeat the creature, and well, that leads to the final issue of the series where we see, well, Lady Sif, now the Guardian of the Bifrost, Jane Foster, basically those that continue being Valkyrie. It's just basically like a big ending to the series, freeing Thor from his possession that basically went on for a few issues, and well, that's basically it. Yep, that's the end of the series. Shockingly enough. Yep. I give the second trade roughly a 9.5 out of 10. Final thoughts on this very brief series. Even as I just discussed the 2 trades, which that's the entire series, 10 issues. Now, you're probably asking, was this series ended because of low sales? As far as I've heard, no. This is series ended because of the pandemic last year. That was the reason why. After only 10 issues. Is the series terrible? No. No, it's not. It's actually really, really good. I think Jason Aaron himself does a great job with the book. My only guess is the reason why he had Al Ewing as a co-writer for this book, probably because he was also writing Avengers, and basically he basically had Al Ewing come in basically with co-writer because he's busy writing Avengers. He's not writing Thor anymore. It's great though they had Thor pop up in the book, but it's kind of weird that he has the incorrect look for some reason. Like, you have the covers, you have this current look, and then the book basically is like, oh, wait, that's not the right look. Now, I'm not really sure of why Jason Aaron did this for, where he had the look he had developed, gave Thor what his artist did at the end of his run for Thor at the end of War of the Realms, and instead of going with the current look. My only guess is he didn't like that look, so he probably had Thor back in the other look for some reason. If I ever get a chance to meet Jason Aaron, I will ask him that question. Why is on the covers of your final few issues of your run for this series that on the cover he's wearing the look Danny Coates basically gave him the start of his run, and in the book you have him at the look he had at the end of your run? There probably was a reason why. Either it was an editorial mix-up, or it was probably Jason Aaron didn't like the current look. That's my personal guess. Though, would I recommend this series, everybody? Yes. Yes, definitely. Especially since people like, well, if you're a fan of the Fearless Avengers series, you would definitely love the series because, well, Annabelle Rakes pops up in the series. I mean, she pops up for 2 issues, but it's great to see her. I mean, last time she appeared was back in the final issue of As Guardians of the Galaxy, where her girlfriend joined the team. But it's kind of weird, though. Like, you bring in this really interesting character, you bring in for 2 issues, and that's it. I think it was also cool they brought in Doctor Strange for several issues. That was great. My only guess is the reason why he brought Doctor Strange in was because, well, he wrote Doctor Strange. Kind of same thing with Thor. I wrote Thor for a long time, so why not have, well, Thor pop up in the book? Those two, my only guess is the reason why he had Spider-Man, Thor, and Captain America pop up in the book because, well, for Spider-Man, because he wrote the Astonishing Wolverine and Spider-Man series, Cap and Iron Man, probably because he's writing Avengers. Though Spider-Man is not on the roster currently. Though he probably threw him in because he likes the character. That's probably the reason why. Mm-hmm. Yep. But not much else to say about these 2 trades. They're both really good. And now here's the interesting thing though. They do, in fact, they are bringing back kind of the series. They kind of continued the series in the King of Black tie-in. King of Black Valkyries, which is later continued as the Mighty Valkyries. Yes. And I don't think it's written by Jason Aaron. No, it's written by somebody else. Now, it is interesting, though, that all the series that basically sprung off from War of the Realms, basically you have this series, you have Loki, you have the miniseries for Age of Atlas, so you have Strike Force coming on. You have many things sparked from this. Everything has ended. Like, you had 2 miniseries and several ongoing series. Like, this series, 10 issues. In the case of Strike Force, 10 issues. Pandemic. Loki, 5 issues. And of course 2 miniseries. One of whom led into another miniseries, Age of Atlas by Greg Pak. Yep. So, Orums did spark good stuff, which I do appreciate the fact it did it. I mean, Absolute Carnage did the same thing too. But this is by far the first series I reviewed that came out as a result of War of the Realms. This was great, and well, it's an overall really good series. It's just sad that it's only 10 issues. Yep. I would have got the physical copies of this thing, but Barnes and Noble only carried Volume 2 for some reason, not Volume 1. Yeah, it's like that for a few of the trades I have. Basically, they have Volume 2, but not Volume 1. Don't know why, but that's basically what it is. Okay, so that's it for this review. Stay tuned for my review for Dr. Stone, because I think I'm probably able to do it today. And do I think I have a comic corner coming? Maybe, but I still also want to do comic history today. Okay, to the video. Bye.